Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. So today I'm just going to be reviewing mostly Ethereum. Like Bitcoin hasn't really changed with my overall thoughts. I'll just do a brief market review on Bitcoin, but nothing's really changed overall from my initial thoughts on BTC. Like, it's still just in this consolidation area. I still believe that this next big move up will be around the 45 to 55,000 area. These are the next areas that I'm viewing. There's a lot of reasons for that. Just watch like the previous two videos where I discussed some of the reasons behind that, but nothing's really changed. I mean, in the short term, it certainly looks like it might go a little bit lower. Like, I have my bids in like the 37Ks, and there's a lot of confluence in that area around kind of like these EMAs here, and it's an SR level as well at the 37.3K area. So like, I have a lot of bids just stacked there, and my stop is below this swing low here, right here. But I'm really targeting like these higher areas, like the 45 to 50K area. So this is like kind of like my trade setup is something like this, like 45 or so, and then like my stop is like this, something like this. I have it mapped out otherwise, but yeah, this is like kind of what I'm viewing for BTC USD. So I guess I'll just go through briefly with what my bias and what I think is going to happen. I think that Bitcoin will continue to chop around, and when it finally makes its big move up to like 50,000 or wherever it goes, it'll hit a lower high. This is like kind of what I'm expecting right here. Hit a lower high, and it should probably print some higher low and then like chop around for the next few months, honestly, something like this, like weeks or months. I'm hopeful that the 30Ks are like the lows, and like, it's still pretty uncertain to me if it is or not, but like, given how many liquidations there were, and given the fact that this doesn't really look super bearish quite yet, I'm still hopeful that these 30Ks are the overall macro lows. But I'm really going to see the reaction around 50,000 or maybe even 55 if it goes that high. But this is like kind of what I'm viewing from a macro standpoint. And yeah, I still think that the next big move up will be up in that area. So that's like kind of my overall plan. My overall plan right now is just along 37K, and then still target the 45 to 50K region. So that's like my overall plan for BTC USD. Still pretty bullish though, up to 45, 50K. Even if we do make new lows, like go down to 20,000, I still think we go to like 45 to 50 first. Grab liquidity up there and then head lower. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I just think that if we do go lower, we go up first. So those are my quick thoughts on BTC USD. Again, if you want to like hear more about my thoughts on that, look at the last two videos. I really want to focus today on Ethereum. To me, ETH has a better looking chart than Bitcoin, personally. To me, it still looks like it's consolidating and forming a short-term low. It's in this range, and you can see kind of this these highs that were first established back all the way in late May. After the first big dump, it had this kind of like wick that is going to be like a supply zone, a sell zone. And as you can see here, price tapped that area several times. And you can see that this area has been resistant several times, and price is rejected every time. It's just like a consolidation area. This is just going to keep chopping around until it makes its big move. But similar to Bitcoin, I believe that the short-term lows are in. Like, maybe this hits like 2150 or something like that. That's entirely possible. But like, the next big move up, I expect it to break up and then maybe go up to like this area around the mid 3Ks. This to me is something that's probably going to happen if Bitcoin goes to 45 to 50,000. If Bitcoin goes to like 55, then this should maybe even go even higher to like maybe form like some sort of double top, and then there will be some sort of reaction almost certainly around these like former all-time high levels. Like this to me would be like a pretty solid short in my opinion, like a good risk to reward short around this area. I certainly expect there to be some sort of reaction on the first go. But this is kind of what I'm expecting, is some sort of like move like this. If it goes as high as I think it will. If Bitcoin doesn't go as high, I expect it to go to at least the mid 3Ks and then maybe go lower. Is ETH done? Like I don't really know. I mean, to me, this chart still looks a little bit better than Bitcoin. But with that said, the ETH BTC chart is a little bit concerning, and I do expect ETH BTC to pull back when BTC makes its big move. That's usually what happens during times of high volatility for Bitcoin. So that's something to really keep an eye on. And I'll review ETH BTC after this as well. But to me, for right now, a decent entry could be like these lows around 2150, around there, maybe even like 2000, depending on like what the market looks like. But I still feel that we go higher before making new lows. Like if this just goes straight to like 1500 or lower, then I would be pretty surprised. Like if this low here gets taken out, I would be pretty surprised about that for a lot of reasons. But the primary one being that I believe the short-term lows are in for Bitcoin, and if ETH just moves on its own, apart from the rest of the market, that would be pretty interesting to me, and not super likely in my opinion. But again, I think that this goes to the mid 3Ks. If you're looking for an entry like 2150 to kind of this 2K area would be like my area of interest personally. And currently price is at like kind of this just low, and it's just consolidating right now. Low volume, that's pretty normal in any consolidation period. And yeah, this is to like me still looks okay in the short term, that is. After it hits 3K, the mid 3Ks, I honestly have no clue what's going to happen after that. Like, maybe price goes up even higher to the 4Ks and then dumps. It could just start dumping from the mid 3Ks, make new lows. Honestly, I have no idea. But to me personally, I think that the short-term lows are in, and I'll be viewing the reactions higher. That's kind of like my overall thoughts on ETH USD. ETH BTC does not look very good at all. There's a few things to note. It is undeniably still in a bullish market structure on the weekly. However, this looks like distribution in the short term. Whenever you see big weekly candles like this, and this is why also I was kind of bearish on BTC USD as well. I was not bearish, I was just very neutral when Bitcoin was up in the 50 to 60Ks, just because it had these like long candles with like lots of volatility. This kind of reminds me of this type of price action here, where you see like lots of chopping around and then like eventually distribution. So you can generally see these types of candles occur at short-term market tops, again back in August of 2020, and this was back in 2017. And price is just kind of spiking along. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see this go back down to like the 05 area, kind of like, or 05.3, wherever like you want to market. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see something like this, where price just dips down and consolidates for a bit and then keeps going up. But it is important to understand that this is still in a bullish market structure, and this still is making like higher highs, and now it just has to form a higher low. But we haven't seen this bullish market structure printed since really 2020 is when it really first started, when you could actually start to see the structure shifting with higher highs and higher lows on higher time frame charts. That's not something you've seen since 2017. So it was pretty significant in my opinion when that happened, and this trend is still bullish. So we just want to see like the lows printed at like 055 or wherever it goes. I think it's pretty likely that 055 gets tapped, especially if Bitcoin makes a big move. Usually ETH BTC will kind of come down as well. But I mean, you can already see as well like this structure on the daily like already kind of looks like bearish. You can see like this was a high, and then now this is like a lower high, and now we'll see it maybe potentially like a lower low than this one back here. So I don't know, we'll just kind of see like what happens to ETH BTC. It's still in a bullish market structure. This could actually even dip farther than we think. Like, you know, it's possible it breaks this 05 level, but we'll take it level to level and kind of see what happens. Like, it still doesn't look super great in my opinion, but let's just see. Like, you know, ETH BTC is still in a bullish market structure, as I said, but when ETH BTC does do poorly, it's usually a good indicator for the overall macro market, altcoin market for the BTC pairs. So for instance, like if you look at a lot of the BTC pairs, they're pretty just neutral right now, if not kind of down, but I expect a lot of these just to keep going lower. Like if you just scan any of the alt BTC charts, they just like don't look very good. Which was a little bit surprising to me because I thought that alt BTC pairs were going to really have their day, but at this time it looks like they're just going to consolidate longer. I mean, like charts like this, MDT, I have no idea what the hell this coin is, but like, I mean, it's sat in its range for like months or even years. If you like look at it, like it hasn't really moved since 2019. And this is a little bit off topic, but this is also a good reason why you want to have you want to make sure you keep your opportunity cost in check as well, because if you're bag holding a coin, that's like, you know, it's not great, of course, but like if you just can't take the loss, like say you bought this thing back in like September of 2020 and now you're just like still at the same price, like you held the coin for an entire year and it did nothing for you. Like that's money that could have been used in other coins, other trades. You definitely could have made your loss back if you had sold here, took your loss, and then like put that money in like another coin. Opportunity cost is very important for trading altcoins, especially the alt BTC pairs. Like I used to have some alt BTC pairs where I would just keep them for a while, but like I find they usually either moon really, really hard, or they doom really hard, or they just like do nothing. I mean, that's every market, of course, but even more so for alt BTC pairs. Like when they run very, very hard, but that's when I prefer to hop on the train, is just buying coins when they start to move. So you'll miss that first, like, you know, 20 to 50% move or whatever, and then, but you can hop on for the last bit of it. But this is like a good example of what these alt BTC charts look like. They just look like shit. I mean, like, look at this other one, MTH. I have no idea what this is. Monetha. Yep, again, like just total destruction. So anyways, that's like a brief overview of the altcoin market. It doesn't look great. In short, I believe that USD looks a little bit better than Bitcoin, but will ultimately follow Bitcoin. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and good luck out there.